What's up, Ilby Habibis? Today we're gonna read a roly poly oly creepypasta or spin pasta. I'm so sorry. I don't know if it's real, but yeah. Since I got rid of the lost tape that I found in the box, I just need some good tapes of shows. But I just found another tape and it said roly poly oly dead of space boy. Not this tape again. It is gonna be horrifying. So I am popping another tape to the VCR player and it shows a warning screen. Instead of the previews and intro, the episode begins. The title card says Death of Space Boy with blood text on it. It cuts to Oli, Zoe, and Billy watching TV and hearing a noise coming from the backyard. What is that noise? Oli asks. I have no idea. Billy replies. Huh? We have to check, Zoe says. They go to the kitchen and check the window. There's a monster in the backyard. Oh no! Oli gasps. Why does this monster have to ruin everything? Zoe freaks as she cries. I got an idea, Billy says. They decide to call Space Boy, so Oli calls Space Boy for help. Hello, Space Boy. It's an emergency in the backyard. Hurry! Oli says to Space Boy. Alright. Don't you worry. Space Boy says on the phone. As they wait for Space Boy, Zoe is still crying again with realistic crying. Zoe, it's okay. Space Boy is coming to save the day, Oli says. When Space Boy arrives, they run to the front. So, what is the emergency, Oli? Space Boy asks. Oli, Billy, and Zoe realize Space Dog isn't there. Where is Space Dog? Billy asks. Oh, he died. Space Boy replies as they gasp. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just all alone in space. Space Boy cries. Oli hugs Space Boy. Oh no. Billy says. Well, rest in peace, Space Dog. Zoe says. So what is the problem? Space Boy asks. There is a monster in the backyard, Oli replies. Space Boy sighs and he will do this alone. Alright, I think I can do this. Space Boy flies to the backyard. Zoe, Billy, Oli follow him. Hey! Space Boy yells. The monster looks around. It's ugly robot monster. It is time to defeat you, Space Boy says. Space Boy begins to fight the robot monster. He punches it 10 times. Percy and Paulina Polly come. What is going on? Percy asks. What is that? Paulina gasps. Mom and Dad, go inside. We don't want you to get hurt, Oli says. Space Boy has a fit of rage from fighting robot monster. I'm not afraid of you, Space Boy yells. And I am not going to die this time. You can do it, Space Boy, Billy said. Space Boy continues to fight robot monster, and after that, robot monster yells and grabs Space Boy. He screams, which is realistic. Oli, Billy, and Zoe gasp. Robot monster throws Space Boy behind the treehouse. He feels pain. I can do this alone, Space Boy says. Don't give up, Space Boy. Fight it, Oli says. Space Boy gets up and continues to fight Robot Monster. Robot Monster pains as Space Boy fights. And all of a sudden, Robot Monster grabs Space Boy again and pounds him. It's killing me! Space Boy screams. Robot Monster continues pounding Space Boy as he screams and Robot Monster throws Space Boy down. No! Only Billy and Zoe screams. Robot Monster walks slowly to them. I can't really watch this. Space Boy throws a sticky bomb on Robot Monster and it explodes, which is heard from the Bevel's house. Baxter, Bonita, and Binky come and they go to Space Boy. I just did it. I defeated it, Space Boy says as he is in much pain. We don't want you to die, please, Oli says. Oli, as much as you become a hero like me, you will be. I promise you. Space Boy says to Oli. Oli smiles. Thanks, but you can't die like Space Dog. Billy and Zoe feel sad and sob. This is goodbye, Space Boy says, and he dies. Oli cries when Space Boy dies. Percy and Paulina come outside. Oh no, Paulina says. I am really sorry, Space Boy, Oli says, and he continues to cry. Goodbye, Space Boy, Zoe says. Yeah, rest in peace, Space Boy, Billy says. At sunset, Oli buries Space Boy. I guess we're not gonna watch Space Boy again, Oli says as they are sad. I hope you will be alive soon, Space Boy, Zoe says. I hope so. Okay, Oli says, Oli and Zoe walk inside the house and the text says RIP Spaceboy and it fades to black without scary ending music. Sad music plays as the credits appear, the closing logos appear with creepy music and reverb, and it fades to black. Oh my god! Oh my god! What the Higglytown Heroes? Oh my god, that jump scared me. All of a sudden, Spaceboy as a zombie appears on the screen. I'm scared. He freezes for 15 seconds and he tries to attack and it cuts to static. I record the footage and I take the tape from the VCR player and smash it with the hammer like I did to the other tape. This is horrifying. I don't want to get nightmares like this. Okay, let me know. Okay, I'm gonna read more Playhouse Disney creepypasta or spin pasta. Bye.
Yeah.